Hi, welcome back, everybody. Our next guest is the founder and principal of Urban Cycling Solutions. Yes, indeed. And he joins us with information on their work and upcoming training. We welcome Dan Suraci to the show. Dan, how are you? Good morning, good
I'm
afternoon, good
I'm
evening.
I'm doing great in social isolation.
Yeah, there you go. We have to do it, man. We have to do it. So tell us about the training that provides expert instruction on active transportation and complete streets concepts, including tools and policy implementation. Tell us about it.
Sure. So, I'm really excited to be working with the Bronx Health Reach to bring this training to the Bronx. This is a training that's funded by the New York State Department of Health, and the intent is to help communities learn about strategies to increase public health outcomes, mobility outcomes, and environmental outcomes.
Yeah,
And, when people hear complete streets, they often think of, things like bike lanes and speed bumps. And those are definitely tools that we use. But ultimately, complete streets are more broadly about designing streets for people of all ages and abilities that facilitate, business development, economic development, and just get people enjoying the places they live in a safe way.
yeah. Does it make it easier to cross the streets? How is that done?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Generally speaking, when you see some of the intersections we have in the Bronx, I think about the Grand Concourse. One of the
Yeah,
obvious challenges we have is that these are very, very wide crossings, which is great for cars, but at a human scale, wider crossings are a little intimidating and they're kind of hard to navigate as pedestrians. So one of
yeah.
the
It's
things
like
that we
Queens
can
Boulevard
do
over there. It's like Queens Boulevard over
exactly.
there. Yeah,
Exactly. So one of the things that we can do, and you've seen this all over other parts of the city, is put in curb extensions or pedestrian plazas that narrow the traffic lane, make the crossing shorter, and theoretically slow down cars as they approach that narrowed crosswalk.
yeah. Do you get any opposition?
Well, certainly I think people who, less than 30% of people who drive in New York City, certainly are afraid of these things. But, data tells us that, sure, you can slow things down a bit, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily holding things up.
Yeah,
Traffic moves more efficiently.
yeah. And it has the safety issues attached to it too, so that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you got older people and children going to and from school that have a rough time crossing that that Grand Concourse over there.
Exactly. And that's what it's about, really. Where do your kids play? What park do they go to? Where do
Yeah,
your kids go to school? We want to make sure that there are safe, accessible paths to those locations.
yeah. Dan, you have an event coming up?
Yeah, we are conducting an online training. It's about an hour and a half, and we are going to be talking about all these things. We're going to talk about how Complete Streets has impacts on public health, how we can increase business activity by implementing some of these treatments and policy measures, and how you ultimately get these things implemented with New York City DOT.
What can people expect to learn?
Well, I think they can learn a variety of things. First and foremost, introducing these concepts and understanding how they can be applied in their neighborhood. But also, it's one thing just to recognize issues with your street, but another thing entirely to be able to say, hey, here are 4 or 5 solutions that I think could work in my community. Here are tools and resources that the city has that I think we could apply here, like a neighborhood slow zone. Those are the things that we want people to come away from this training with.
In that slow zone, do you create speed bumps also?
Yeah, so neighborhood slow zones are a program through New York City DOT that neighborhoods can apply for. And basically, there's a variety of treatments where the speed limit is reduced. There are speed bumps and signage at certain areas.
Yeah.
It's a really great program.
Thank you so much. Urban Cycling Solutions. Dan Suraci, Complete Streets. Thank you so much. And nice talking
Thank
to you.
you.
Stay safe.
All right, you too.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. All right, we'll take a break. More open on the way.